Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am moving so slow this week. Oh my god. Normally on both days I've already had my coffee before we start Coffee and Magic, but not today. First few sips right here. Hi Anna. Good morning. Hi Ricky. Hi Gina. Good morning. Hi Nancy. Hi Janelle. Hi Jennifer. Hello, French fry taco. Good morning, Freddie. Hi, Susan. Hi, Kate. Hi, Misty. Hello. Let's get a few of these in me. That's right. I noticed that when I was putting the date in. It's a 7-7 day. I'm actually having, because I've got my dirty girl shirt on, I'm having a dirty coffee. So I put coffee and chai in here for extra stuff. Oh, hi, Chris. Hi, Becky. Hi, Melissa. Good morning, everybody. Come on in. No, I haven't had any energy this week. I thought maybe it was just me, um, but I don't think it is. A lot of people with uteruses got their periods this week, and if that was you, I don't know if you felt a little more like ragey than usual because I don't typically get like insane mood swings with my period, but this week, holy shit, I was a bitch on wheels. I couldn't even hold myself together. I went after everybody. It was actually kind of fun in retrospect because I really didn't hold back at all. I just like totally did what everyone else does. Like just have a have a moment of like literally not giving a shit and just exhibiting unrestrained behavior. And the world didn't end. The world didn't end. So, yeah, it's interesting that you say that, Tara, because some people who haven't gotten their periods in a while, like because they've had like ablations and stuff, actually did get a period during this full moon, which so it's been very, very intense. We'll put it that way. Good morning, Arlene. Very, very intense. It'll be interesting to see what the vibes are because we didn't have Coffee and Magic on Monday, and I am going to directly attribute my wonkiness this week to that because I don't feel good when we don't start our week with Coffee and Magic. I just don't. But there was no way in the chaos that was happening where I was that I'd be able to do Coffee and Magic. So if I can, I do. Good morning, Allie. Yes, shift does happen, Arlene. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, everybody. Or good evening, depending on where you are. So last night, I went with my friend Amanda to see Tori Amos, and it was so great. And I just feel like I reached back and touched 15-year-old Sarah for a second, and we had a moment, and it was pretty great. Do we have any Tori fans here? There's got to be some Tori fans if you follow me. Oh, yes, she was amazing. She was amazing. Just a little fairy goddess, and she played some of my favorite songs. Like she played Donut Song, which I was super happy about, and Tear in My Hand was one of the encores. It's another favorite of mine. She played Josephine. I was just like, ugh, it was so good. Oh my god. Kristen says I followed her for 2 summers up and down the West Coast when I was 16. I really never went to. She did not play Raspberry Swirl. I really did not go to any concerts when I was younger. So like the past couple of years have been the most concerts I've ever gone to, and I'm really grateful that some of my my favorite musicians are still there, still touring 30 years later. Like, what the hell? Tori hasn't aged at all. I don't know what Fey magic she has going on, but she looks the same. Um, Ron, I have a story. I'm going to tell everybody the story, but I want to make sure you hear it because it's about mushrooms. Um, and then we'll get to this. Yes, I saw Kit Taylor's in KC. So let me tell you my mushroom story real quick as I like jump from thing to thing to thing, but that's what I like to do. Um, I had a dream the other night, and you know how you have these dreams where you're woken up right after it. So like obviously somebody would like for you to remember it. And you're like, oh, I'm so sleepy. I'm gonna remember it. I won't have to write it down. It was too vivid for me to forget. And then you go back to sleep and you wake up and you've lost it. Well, that did not happen to me. So I had this dream and it was about mushrooms. So I was with this other person and I don't know who this person was, but we were standing somewhere and there was like these two logs or something. And when I looked at them, there were these tiny thread-like things with glowing blue tips. They were little, like this little, and very wispy, very thin. And I said to the person, "Oh my God, the mushrooms are sprouting." And so we both looked at these wispy things with the glowing blue tips, and we were like, "Yay!" And we started like getting excited and telling them how amazing it was that they were sprouting. And as we were doing that, they began to sprout faster. It was like they caught our energy and our excitement, and they started to grow faster. And we were like clapping and applauding, and like we just got really loud. And all of a sudden, they went from being these tiny little things to like boosh into these big mushrooms, right? And they were sentient, like they were alive, and it was like so clear that our excitement had sped up their development, allowed them to like come out really quickly, right? And so then we're standing there and like they were just these beautiful, like creamy colored, big flat topped mushrooms, like probably like this big. And I put my hand on the top of the mushroom and I could feel it just like undulating, like silky undulating, like on my palm. It was such a like it was such a good dream. It was so happy. It was so like, I don't even know what to tell you, but I got this like very like, you need to remember this. This was a very important thing because like obviously my dreams were like going all different directions that night. But the thing that I woke up with after that dream, like the message that came through with that was that's how we need to talk to ourselves too, like the cells in our body, that like things respond to us, like encouraging them. And I know that sounds so simple, but is it? So I'll leave you with that little mushroom dream because it really, really impressed about me. And one last thing before we get to the cards is that I've gotten all of your applications for the Normalized Magic Workshop, and we're almost full. And I'm going to be looking through all of them, and I may have reached out to you if I don't know you already, just to have a little chat on Instagram to catch each other's vibes, okay? But the next round of Normalized Magic Workshop is going to start the first week of August. And if you are on the fence, you're still wondering if you want to do it or not, or you do and you haven't yet applied, I think you should apply now so that I can get everything done. I'm going to be looking over everything this weekend and sending out emails to you guys. Okay. And then, depending on how it shakes out, if there's another spot left, I'll send out another email. So, I'm sending everything out through my email list. So, if you're not on that, DM me or go on my website and hop on the email list. But I'm very excited for the workshop. We always have the best people, and we have so many people that are going to be adding to the best. Like it's just going to be ridiculously juicy. I'm very excited. Blah! Okay, so there's that. Also, for one-on-one sessions, I'm still doing those. So You can DM me for more information or just go to my website and find out. Okay. So, super excited. And now we're going to do some cards. You're coming back. Don't worry. Pretty much everyone's coming back. It's okay. We're just taking a small break. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to do Coffee Magic now. We're going to get to the magic part. I'm going to give you 3 things. You can tell me what you feel most aligned with this morning. And then that's how we're going to get our message for today. Okay. So I thought we were going to do mushrooms, but we're not. We're going to do fruit. So the first one is a pineapple. The second one is a papaya. And the third one is a cherry. Are you feeling pineapple, papaya, or cherry this morning? If you're not feeling any of them, just kind of like sit back and listen to all. Okay. Hi, Erin. Pineapple, papaya, and cherry. Drop it in the comments. You'll notice my cat's not here because I closed the door. He's right outside the door, but he does not know how to act for Coffee and Magic. And I'm just not in the mood for constantly removing his butthole from your faces. So, we'll wait. We'll wait for him to get his act together before he comes back for Coffee and Magic. It's just a little early for bet stuff. You know what I mean? As Arlene says, fruit salad over there. Oh my goodness. You guys. Leo's like 6 months old. Yeah, so happy Friday, everybody. Okay, so again, your choices are pineapple, papaya, and cherry. You drop what you would like in the comments, and I'm about to get this going. All right, pineapple people, tell me when you're ready. Carrie, do you mean literal fruit salad, or are you being dirty this morning? Thank you, Val. Welcome. All right. Pineapple, papaya, and cherry. This is going to be pineapple. I have it. You told me you're ready. That's okay. Look at me. I didn't even try not to look like a hot mess this morning. It is what it is. Okay. Here is your pineapple. Oh, shoot. I forgot to put the garbage out. Oh, well. All right. This is your pineapple message for this morning. You have focus, the cat, and the raven. Ooh, how funny that the cat popped in. All right, this is different vibes for us, so this is kind of cool. It's always interesting when the vibes shift. So let's see what the deal is. We've got focus, the cat, and the raven. So here's the thing. We're going to start with the cat first, obviously. It's kind of to the point, right, where you I don't want to say like you know everything, but like you kind of do, right? Like you know what the things are now to look for. You know that looking at your boundaries and enforcing your boundaries is like a full-time fucking job, and it's very important. You know that. You know this. But what keeps happening, and as we make this shift from like living in a fear-based place versus living in a love-based place, is that our programming for fear-based is the strongest programming we have. You can't not know that. Like it just is what it is. So that means you're constantly course correcting, and that is exhausting. So we acknowledge that that is exhausting to constantly course correct. At the same time, your your ability to like magic your own life at this point, which is really just another word for self navigate, right? Is so strong that there isn't a whole lot of leeway for you to forget about your boundaries anymore. Okay. And so if you forgot about them for a hot second because you're tired and that's fair, this is just your reminder to go back to that. If things have started to feel wonky again, look at your boundaries again. See who you've allowed back into your energy space, um, that you weren't allowing before. See what adjustments need to be made so that you can restore your energy again. Okay, that has to be the focus right now. You need your energy. There are a lot of places where our energy is being used in kind of an autopilot way, right? Like if you are most of the time around people who are very draining and slightly dangerous to you, you are always going to be using a bulk of your energy just to keep yourself in stasis, right? At a normal place. That energy could be better used doing a million other things. But if you are always going to be in that situation, it can't free itself up to be used for that because it needs to protect you, right? That's why we do boundaries, so that you can free up your energetic platform to do something else besides stay alive, right? We're moving out of that space. So, my pineapple friends, you have so much magic available to you right now. Will you enforce your boundaries to free up that space so you can focus on that magic? Okay, that is your pineapple. The next one is papaya. Good morning, Andrew. Yeah, I have too many cups. This is the one. You feel attacked. All right, I'm shuffling for papaya and cherry. Yes, tell me when you're ready. Good, good. All right, here comes papaya. So I need to wash my hair. Oh my god. I'll get to it. Okay, so this is papaya. Again, we're really moving into some like different vibes, so that's good. That's a good thing. So if you need to look at your boundaries again, it's always good to do that. So, all right, here we go. Papaya, bard, fire fairy, perception. Hey, it's been a while since someone told you you should write a book. You should write a book. Are you tired of hearing that? I've heard that my whole life. Oh, you should write a book. You should. Okay, let's break down what that actually means today. Okay, when someone says to you, you should write a book, because I think we need to talk about it. to better understand. Also, if you are a numbers person, I just want to show you that the bard is number 7 and today is a 7 day. So just kind of letting you know about that. All right. So you should write a book. The message here is not literal in all cases. Maybe you are a person who should literally write a book. So fine. But maybe you are not a person who needs to literally write a book. Maybe that's not at all what you're interested in. But people keep saying you should write a book, you should write a book. Why do they keep saying that? Well, there is a strong possibility that the experiences that you've had in your life are worth sharing, right? So, someone saying you should write a book is just another way to convey to you that other people want to hear your story. Okay. And that doesn't mean you have to write it down, but it is asking you to be honest about your story. Okay. That means really thinking about who you are and what your narrative has been up until this point. What's the story of yourself that you tell yourself, right? How do you express that to others, right? Um, it's a good time to think about this. And it's interesting because this is will be directly affecting the first week that we have workshop. So if you are in workshop, pay extra close attention to this card pull, okay? Your story is both unique and not unique at all, okay? And by saying that, I mean that we all have so many similarities in our story, so many commonalities in our stories. That's why it's important to tell them so that we know we are not on little islands all by ourselves having strange, bizarre feelings that nobody else is having. Okay? It's very lonely to feel like you're the only person in the whole world who thinks and feels the way that you do. And while nobody else in the whole world is you, nobody else can know what it's like to be you, there's also such massive connection available to us if we honestly share our stories because there are, like I said, commonalities, there are themes, there are experiences that we are all having, but we're too scared to admit, right? And the perception that if you were to be honest about how you truly feel and who you truly are, that you would somehow be outcast, right? That you would be other, that you would not be accepted is true. You're right. That's why you haven't done it because the society we live in has trained us that way. It's correct. Anything different is not accepted. But what has happened, right, is that we're all different. We're just pretending not to be. So we all pretend to each other. And I think that this really is maybe for some of you, yes, write a book, but it's really for all of you. Start being honest about your actual story. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. And if you don't know the truth, put some time into figuring it out. How do you really feel? Who are you? Right? We want to know. You're probably pretty awesome. Okay? So that's the bard. And we have perception in the fire fairy. The fire fairy is that spark of creation, right? It's very like primordial spark. It's the beginning of something. It's getting that action energy back in your life. It's almost here. You can kind of feel it bubbling up, right? It's coming pretty soon. That's what she said. So, with that being said, you don't have to. Let me rephrase this. When this energy comes, this action energy comes, it can feel like you need to know what to do. But what it really is that you just have to be ready to ride with that energy. You'll be informed along the ride. That always happens, right? You'll know when you get there, but trusting that ebb and flow of energy and the flow is about to happen. Okay. So start to think about your story and who you are. Start to consider that when you are honest about who you are and what your story really is and how you really feel, you can attract into your life other people who are resonating in that same frequency. And that's going to feel very good to you. Okay. So that is your papaya message for this morning. The last one is the cherry. It's the cherry on top. We'll see. So far, these have felt rather gentle, I think. What do you think? All right. 'Cause yeah, this is a three-way today. We are just all in it this morning. I love it. Okay. No, I understood what you meant. I understood what you meant. All right. Oh, all right. Here's your cherry. You ready? It was too much caffeine. I shouldn't have put the chai in the caffeine. The coffee. Oh my god. Ah, okay. All right. Okay, so this is your cherry. You've got perception again, burden, and the deer. Oof. Okay. So cherry friends, this feels a little more specific. Yeah, it was a dirty chai. Um, okay. So cherry people. Again, when we get specific, it's obviously not everybody. Although sometimes it feels like it is, right? But we're gonna go really specific and then kind of pull out a little bit. So there is a situation that is really weighing on you. Like you need to take care of the situation, but you don't know how to do it without like messing everything up. It feels there's that feeling of like if I handle this appropriately, like effectively, I don't know if I'm going to like the result of it. It feels like you're going to lose. It feels like you feel like you're going to lose something and it's going to be very uncomfortable for you. And that, and while everything is uncomfortable in this situation, that thought is really like messing with you that like you're not going to like you're going to like the outcome less than you like what's currently uncomfortable. Does that make sense? Like if you were to do the thing, you're like maybe I will hate what happens more than I hate what's happening now and then I'll be even worse off, right? So there is that vibe of like it's hard to pull your focus out of it. Like it's all you're seeing. You're only seeing the disaster outcomes. You're only seeing disaster outcomes. You're only seeing how it could be less good for you and it's already not good. And like it's like you won't you cannot stop saying it. You're saying it over and over again. And I just want to remind you of what that is that you're doing. You're willing that into reality. No one is going to save you from the force of your own magic, my friends. Okay. So if you are sitting there doing this and saying, it's going to be terrible, it's going to be terrible, it's going to be terrible, it's no one's going to interrupt you. Do you see what I'm saying? You are leaving no room for other possibilities. And the longer you do that, the less possibilities are available to you because you are literally single mindedly magicking the fuck out of this situation in a direction you don't want. Okay. That is how specific this is. So just like take a second. Is that resonating with anybody? This like constant, like, it's going to be so awful. It's going to be so awful. It's going to be so awful. Blah, blah, like over and over and over again. Right. Whatever it is you're saying, you keep saying it and it's the same thing, right? And there is this, I don't know, this idea that somehow someone is going to step in and do the opposite of what you're saying is going to happen. And I don't know why you think that, because that's not how anything works. That's not how it works. You thinking that means that you still have a program in there that tells you you're not manifesting shit, right? That tells you you're not in control of this at all, that you're just tossed in the winds. And that's okay. Recognize it, because then you can make some corrections. But understand that if you are saying one thing over and over with like a rocking motion, you're really doing an excellent job of manifesting that. Okay. So, what do we do? What do we do? How do we stop ourselves from this situation? Well, you got to recognize if you're doing it first. Okay. And leave some fucking options open. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it could be worse than it is now, but the opposite is always true as well. So just, you don't have to stop seeing the possible disaster outcomes. Just include others. That's all. Include others in your narrative. That's all you have to do. We don't have to spend energy trying to pull this out of our brain and stop ourselves from the rocking with it, right? It's okay. Just please add other possibilities in. Add different energy. Have more of a fruit salad, so to speak, right? Not just cherries. It's not a salad with just cherries, it's just cherries. So if you are continuing on this path, you you may not be surprised because you literally manifested it. So just add more options into the mix, right? So that there's something to play with. Okay? That's all. Don't worry about removing the negative thoughts, and I quote unquote because that's a whole other rant, but don't worry so much about removing the negative thoughts. Just add some thoughts in that you would be pleased about. Okay? Does that make sense? Because it's we really need you to do that. Okay. So that's pretty much all of this. That's the whole thing. I think I touched all the cards. The deer, the burden, and the perception. Right? Yes. Yep. That's that. Friends. Well, the cherry on top was the bigger splash in the pond. Um, so cool. I hope you have a good weekend. I hope you spend a little time thinking about your story. Hope you add a little fun into your weekend too. I feel like there was something else I wanted to tell you, but I don't know. I'll see you again on Monday. Coffee Magic is at 9 a.m. So awesome. I guess that was it. All right. Have a good weekend. Take it easy. I'll see you Monday. Love you so much. Thank you for being here. Mwah. Goodbye, friends.